There we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Ooh, people are still coming in. I'm loving it. So welcome. Most of you on this call, if you're not a leader on the team already, you're here because you decided to say yes to Q and you trusted your sponsor enough to take the leap of faith and run with us. And I'm telling you guys, I'm getting goosebumps already. We just got off a call with one of our leaders. If you weren't on it, it's okay. We can send you the recording, but there is some stuff that is happening and it's going to start tomorrow. And it's so excited. Okay, but let's just move on from there. We can talk about it later. I'm going to share my screen. So we're here today to launch your business. This has one of my one of my favorite calls.
What do I have?
I get really excited.
I have club soda.
You guys can all mute yourself too. That would be awesome. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah. Can I mute everybody? Mute all. Mute all. Okay. So it's one of my favorite calls because sorry. There we go. It's one of my favorite calls because starting something new is exciting and it can also be scary too, but the exciting part about it is because it's new, right? And so what we want here to do as a team with the Q Empire and the Q Royals, we come together, we have this crown. We are seriously like, you pick the right team to join. We're very happy to have you here. Our job as your sponsor and your mentor in this business is to help you grow and to level up and to be the best version of yourself. That is absolutely my why and why I do this. And the more I'm in this business, the more I know and understand that like, it is not about me collecting a paycheck. It is about watching all of you guys grow into the best version of yourself. Just so happens you do that with amazing products and then you get paid too. So it's kind of like a double bonus. When we talk about the business, you should have all received a document that either came to you separately in an email or you got it as part of maybe a link that was sent to you, but this is a launch document. This is what we use within our organization. It's 2 pages. It looks like a lot, but we're going to break it down section by section so that we can make it a little easier to digest. So actually, before I go into that, I've been in this business for a long time. My name is Siobhan Brown. I don't even think I introduced myself. I was just so excited to get started. I started in March. I'm a bronze ambassador here. I have absolutely been loving everything about this company. I've been in the industry for like 5 years. So I've seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the on your own, the now here where you're not on your own. You've got a team and we're going to help you succeed. The thing I tell people with this is you will be successful if you are coachable. And there are some parts of this launch document where I'm just going to tell you how it is. Like, check your ego at the door. We don't need it here. You may have done this before. You may think you know what you're doing. And that's all fine and dandy. However, if you want to grow in this business, be coachable. And I promise if you are, you will grow leaps and bounds past even your own vision of where you could be. So that coupled with work ethic and desire and just being committed to being here and showing up every day, it's going to be a good thing for you. And I'm excited for you. So something you will always hear us talk about, doesn't matter how long you're in the business, are these 3 things right here. When you started, you all should have placed your 100 PV order. And then you should also have set up your auto ship. Those 2 are non-negotiables. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you are joining this business, those things have to happen because that is part of being a business owner. You have to invest in your business and invest in yourself. And that's how we do it at Q. And then because of the way that the comp plan is structured and because of the way that really they've enabled us to grow quickly every month, to put money back into our pocket and to invest again into our business, is moving that auto ship from the 1st to the 5th of the month. That's important because we have weekly pay, and if done properly, as the month closes and you start a new one, you re-rank immediately and you're getting paid. So it just makes working your business a lot, it's actually a lot more fun. You close every week versus every month. it's exciting. So again, non-negotiable. If you do not have your auto ship turned on, after this call, go to your back office and do that. If you don't know how, ask the person who you've signed up with to do this business. Okay. So we talked a little bit about being coachable, but this first step, this is your why. And you've probably heard people talk about this. Chandler mentioned it once, and I keep using it because I love it. Your why is your North Star. It is like, how did they find baby Jesus? Because of the star, right? Like you've got to keep marching towards that star, because that is what's going to keep you grounded in this business. That's when it's going to help you when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. That's what we as leaders can remind you again when it comes to those days that it gets a little bit challenging. It's, your why is important, and your why is ever evolving, and it's going to change. On my first day, my why was, I want to make a shit ton of money. That was my why. And that's great. And that motivated me for a little bit. And then I realized that money is only going to motivate you so far. Like getting those big checks is only going to be exciting so much, right? Pretty soon it becomes a normal thing. You're just making money and it's like, oh, cool, I've got money, it's coming in. So it's easy to just use the money as like, that's why I'm doing this. But I challenge you to dig a little deeper and figure out like, what's the layer below that? Why do you need to be making money? Right? And then a layer below that, why does that need exist for you to know that you need to have the money? And this business also is a lot of personal development. There's a lot of growth. I have personally watched people on my team blossom into a like way more self-confident, badass woman. And it's been so fun to do. So with that being said, your why, I'm going to give you a few minutes. We have too many people on this call to do it out loud, but I want you to, I'm going to give you like 2 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on so that I don't lose track of time. I want you to think about your why. I want you to write it down. Okay. The reason why I want you to write it down and not just think it is because you cannot think something into existence. You need to give it, you need to give it the energy. You've got to put it out there. So you talk it, you speak it, you write it down. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I want you to write down what your why is. And then if you happen to be done, you still have, don't worry, you still have like a little over a minute, but I would love for you to share your why so that we can know why it is that you are doing this. All right, we're almost done here. It's going to go off. All right, so Lisa's to be debt-free. Mine is to help others become the best version of themselves and create legacy wealth and financial health for my family, set my kids up for success. Angelique's, oh, congratulations on the baby. Yes, you want to enjoy what you do and have financial freedom. Absolutely. Best version of myself and supplement my income at the same time. Kelly, so there aren't limitations on my life and I can help others so that they don't have limitations either when relating to money and what they want to accomplish. Like these are all amazing dreams for ourselves, right? And I feel like, let's see, Shelby, to find something that holds me accountable. Yeah. So this is all like, these are all these amazing things. Like your why is like that. This is what's going to keep you grounded. I love all of these so much. Our leaders who are on here are going to take notes of the ones that you've shared with us. If you didn't share, that's fine. Make sure you share it with whoever you signed up with so that they can encourage you along the way and through this process. So this slide here, or this next part of the process is really, we call it goal setting. You'll do another formal goal setting with your sponsor and their mentor. You'll set that up after this call. But the whole premise when it comes to building a team, it's a U+2 format. So it's you and 2 personal ambassadors. That's all you need to get started to unlock your earning potential with the bonuses. So when thinking of those first two business partners, think about the people who you know that when you talk to them, they're going to trust what you're saying and they're going to be open to listening about the opportunity. Don't think about these first 2 people as people you cold message, because one, we don't cold message here, and we'll talk about that in another call. You don't need to. You've got enough people in your contacts on your cell phone and in your Facebook friends and in your Instagram friends. Like there's a lot of people you can reach out to before you need to start cold messaging people. But anyways, this U+2, that's how it is for everyone. U+2, you bring someone on, it's them +2, them +2. And then eventually, once you have your team that has growing out and expanding, because we build infinite levels deep, not wide, you'll hit these fast start bonuses here. So our goal as your leaders here are to help you hit executive by the end of your first month. So for all of you, you have the rest of this month, which is so freaking cool with the timing, you guys. Like, I keep wanting to curse on this call, and I know that I probably should, and I might be offending people, but like shit's getting real tomorrow. Like something is happening. We don't know what it is. We just keep hearing that it's going to be huge. And the last huge thing that happened resulted in like $1.5 million of sales in less than a week. That's wild. Like that. And we're going to be doing something again. That was just a couple weeks ago. So the timing of you being here is not on accident. You being invited to be part of this team was not an accident. You were meant to be here right now. This is exactly where you are meant to be, not where you're supposed to be. This is exactly where you are meant to be. And the quicker you can like adopt that as the mindset, your business will grow. So unlocking these fast start bonuses by the end of next month, so the end of October, means that we get to put $750 back in your pocket, which by the time you hit pro, you're recouping your investment anyways into the business. So hitting executive, that's the icing on the cake. That's like you already made residual income within the first full month. So Builder Pro Executive, breaking it down in easy ways to talk about it is by order. Orders equal 100 PV when we're talking in orders, and that's how you'll hear a lot of people talking. So Builder is 3 orders below you. Pro is 6 orders from your team below you. Executive is 15 orders from your team below you. That's what these mean here. And then we can look at the potential, right? So this only goes to platinum. There's a lot more ranks after this, but we would need like a gigantic page to fit them all. But you can see here, same concept. If you just take off the last 2 zeros, Elite is 45 orders. And it's not 45 orders that you have to find and get. It's 45 orders combined with your entire organization below you. Because remember, all of the orders, all of the ambassadors, all of the customer orders, the personal orders from the people that you sign on, that's your OV. That's your organizational volume. That is how you that is how you end up, that's how you rank up. So these next ones come with some pretty significant bonuses. They're also pretty significant pay increases. So I want you to look. I want you to ignore these ones right here because you're all going to hit that by the end of October. But I want you to see the potential. Where here would you be comfortable? Like if you hit this monthly income of silver is 4,000, for example, would that make you very comfortable at home? Or do you need 8,000, maybe because you have more expenses than the average person with debt or whatnot? So I want you to write down that number or circle it if you have this printed. If you want to share it, please do. I'd love to hear it. A couple of us on this call, I won't name names, but we all thought our first goal was that we wanted to make 6 figures a month by October. Well, that's next month. And we're not anywhere near that, but we dream big. And that's the point, right? Like just dream as big as you can. And then we will help you kind of back into that dream and figure out how to do it. All right. So like I said, and before, it's like kind of like a slash goal setting call. If you want a deeper dive into a goal setting call, you can do this with your sponsor directly. But what we mean by goal setting call is that we want to know what your hopes and dreams are, and we want to know what we can do to help you get there and help you succeed. And there's a couple different ways to do that. And the first way, or the first step to doing anything in this business is making a list. So this next part of the launch process is to make a list. It says a list of 20. I challenge you to double that, triple that even. I challenge you to make a list of 100. And you might be thinking, Siobhan, I don't know 100 people, because when I was told this, I was like, I don't know 100 people. But I actually do know 100 people. I was able to get a list of 100 people. I actually have continued on with my list, because as I go through it and people cross off and they either join or they move on or they become a customer, I remember more people that I know, like the lady I ran into at the park who I became friends with because we've got kids the same age, or my dental hygienist who, like, when she's not in my mouth doing stuff, I'm talking to her, like we're forming a relationship. So there's so many people that you know that you just have to really think about, like the barista at the coffee place. Do you know their name? If you don't, you should ask them their name, start a conversation. That's how people get added to your list. And you can break up your list into more, like we've got 4 different sections here. We'll just pretend we're breaking it up into buckets. Like, who's on your dirt list? Who could you sell dirt to and they would buy it? Everybody has those people. My people, I told them, I said, hey, do you want to make a lot of money? Because I knew I could go to them and say that, and they would be like, all right, Siobhan wouldn't be calling me if it wasn't something significant. And so we had a conversation. Then I have the other people that were like, hey, I know you've been doing something like this before, so I don't want to overstep or overreach, but I've got this opportunity I'd love for you to take a look at. I have I'm building a team of leaders and I would love to have your eyes on it. That's another way. Or it could be as simple as, hey, what are you doing later? Oh, nothing. Do you have a couple minutes for me to chat about something new that I'm doing? They would be like, sure, awesome. And then you can connect them and set them up in a 3-way with the person who brought you into this business, because you never have to do any of this alone and you never have to be the expert. So start thinking about those people, because you're going to have homework after this call, and it's going to be to start reaching out to people. And we will help you do that. Here's an example of what you can do, because remember, in this business, people, you're going to hear this a lot. People don't join queue, they join you. So you're inviting people to join other people when you are reaching out to them. So here's an example too. And this came actually from Kristen Wyatt, and I love it. I've actually used this a few times. She mentioned this on a power hour once, and it has worked for me. So it's, hey friend, or name of whoever it is, or however you talk. Hope you're having a great weekend. I know this is really random, but are you free tonight at 8? I have something I wanted you to check out online for me. And then they come back and hopefully they say yes. And you're like, okay, great. I actually wanted to see if you do me a huge favor. I'm inviting a few specific people to get online with me, to get on an event and, or to get on an online event with me at that time. I'm not sure if you knew, but I'm actually in a new business. And one of my mentors who has had huge success in this is kind of taking me under her wing, and she's going to share about the opportunity and the products we have. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Can you come? And it's really that easy. You can see here, I didn't go into what we do here, even our name of our company, not because I don't want to say it, but I'd rather them say, yes, I'll come, and then explain to them about Q later versus doing it over text messaging. That's a whole nother call we'll talk about later, but messaging is important, and voice messaging is really great too, if that's something that you can learn to become comfortable with. Because as I was reading that, as you can probably hear, like, I was excited about it. It was like, hey, I'm doing something, like I'm picking you. I want you to come. Like, you want them to feel like you want them to feel your excitement for when you joined. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So that is this piece. All right. So that's inviting people. But if we take back a step and we look at processes and systems that we have in place here at Q, this is it right here. This is like your gold nugget. This is, if you follow these, it works. It's a system. It was created by our president, Jake Spencer, who has 10 years experience doing network marketing. So he knows what works and he knows what doesn't work. And he created a system that does work along with our equity and advisory councils here. So the first thing over here is your Q launch. That's what we're doing right now, which is just welcome. We're so happy you're taking your first few steps. Can you guys hear me, or did my AirPods just turn on? Can you hear me still?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're good.
Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do is your peak post. This is like your coming out post. This is your like, hey, I'm doing something and I can't believe I'm doing this, but I am, and I'm so excited. And it's going to be something that is going to change my life. And I feel it in my bones, and I can't wait to share it with you. Right. It's telling people that you're doing something and letting them come back to you with a question of like, what are you doing? What is this? And that opens the invitation for you to share. You can go back to this last one right here. You could go back to something like this to them, like, hey, I don't know, like I just started this new thing. I've got an event that's happening tonight. I'd love to get you on the call, or I'd love to introduce you to my friend Siobhan. She's been doing this for a couple months and she's kind of brought me under her wing, and I'm really excited because she's doing big things and I can't wait to, follow and do what she's doing too. You edify your person who you want to connect them to. So that's peaking and inviting. And then you expose them. Chandler, I don't know. I don't like this word expose. I would not have used it. It sounds so funny. Like, I'm going to expose you. No, I'm not going to flash you right now, but I am going to introduce you to the business. And so what that means is you invite them to an opportunity call, you send them a video, you put them in a 3-way chat with somebody, you do a Zoom call with them. You just basically are having somebody else, not yourself, share the business with your person, because again, you never have to be the expert here. And that took me a long time to learn. And I'll tell you that once I did, my business started, it was like it's rolling now. And it's really, really fun to see that happening, because then everyone else does what you're doing because you've learned the systems and the processes, and then your people learn the systems and the processes, and we duplicate ourselves and our organizations grow. So after you introduce someone to the opportunity, they will either say, I'm in, I'm not quite sure, I need more information. Okay, I see it, but it's not for me, I'll be a customer, or they'll totally be out, right? So based on their answer to their first exposure to Q, we can connect them with someone. That connection could be anywhere. It could be your sponsor, it could be her sponsor, it could be somebody on the team you've met that you love, it could be somebody a couple ranks up from us. It doesn't have to be a specific person every time. It's whoever you gel with and whoever you vibe with, and you just trust that they're going to be able to explain it to your person in a way that's going to get them excited and going to cast the vision as to what we're doing here at Q. And until you have that experience, it's really hard to cast that vision yourself. And a third-party resource really helps with that process. So then you sort them out. Like I said, where do they land? And if they need additional exposure, we can give you examples of things to do for that too. There's plenty of recorded calls that we can send people, and then we sign them up. And then we do the process all over again. So all of you on this call right now, are going to get your first two and I'm looking at the bottom because that's where I see you. And I know it probably looks like I'm not looking at you, but I promise I am on my screen. You're all going to get your two people very soon. We're going to help you get there. And once you do, you're going to invite them to a launch call and we're going to do the same thing with them. So it's very duplicatable. It's very you have help and support in a system. So here's the next one. And this is going to be like the big scary one for a lot of people. But I want you to commit to a date of launching your business. If you guys had a brick and mortar business and you had a building somewhere and you were opening a boutique, you would have a grand opening, right? You would invite people, you would send out notifications, you would tell all your friends, there would be invites, there would be, it would be a big thing. Well, this is a big deal too, you guys. This is you launching your business. This is getting your first exposure to people in your circle of Q Sciences. So make it a big deal. Put some weight into it so that like this is the first step in you building potentially future wealth for you and your family. Like that's a big deal. So let's get you started off on the right foot. So I'm going to challenge you all to think of a date, and not like next week, not like the end of next week, or not like a month from now, but I'm talking like tomorrow. That might freak a lot of you out. I'm seeing a lot of eyeballs right now, right? But why not? Okay. Saturday night, Saturday afternoon. Are you local? Do you have some friends who are local to you with your sponsor that you could do it in person? Make it an afternoon thing on Sunday, right? Monday after all the kids go to bed, maybe do it that night. But I challenge you, within the next few days, less than 5, set a date for your business launch and work with your sponsor on messaging and reaching out, because that is our job, is to help you do that. Okay. Did I freak anybody out? Raise your hand if you're freaked out. I freaked myself out. Okay. All right, then this is like the housekeeping part of the call. Things you just need to know. You need to know your ambassador ID by heart. It starts with an 8. It will be in your back office under your name. You need to know this. It's like your Q social security number. Anytime you communicate with customer support, they're going to want to know that. Your username is what you chose when you signed up. That is going to be the beginning part of your website. So mine is siobhan.myqsciences.com. That takes anybody I want to my website, to my business, and allows them to buy products from me or to build a business with me. So remember your user ID, memorize it, put it on a QR code, print it off, tape it to the back of your phone. People can scan it. Like, there's all kinds of ways to get creative with sharing your business website with people. Password, obviously, is the password you picked. Start date is important because of the bonus expiration date. All of your bonus expiration dates for all of you on this call is October 31st. So I want you to write that on a sticky note. I want you to tape it on the wall, and I want you to write executive on it also, because you will hit executive by October 31st. Put it out into the world, speak it into existence, tell the universe, tell God, whatever you believe in, just put it out there that is going to happen, and put it in a place where you can see it next to your why. All right. And that way it's visible to you all the time. I'm looking at mine right here. It's on the wall in front of me. Your closest gold is Jackie Dukes. Jackie Dukes is our gold ambassador. She will help us with anything special we need as far as like support goes with she has her own business account manager who will help her do all kinds of things. So like, I met Jackie, like, I think on my 6th day here, because I messed up all my placements. I did them wrong because I got too excited. And I think Chandler met her because I told Chandler to do her placements wrong too. And I was like, oh shit. But then we just had Jackie got them fixed for us. So it was okay. But she will help us with all of those kinds of things. And then your closest equity counsel slash advisory council is Brittany Hitch. She's on the equity council. So that is that. Then this part over here. So you should have got an email from Q Sciences that had you set up your QPay to sign your DocuSign. Make sure you signed your DocuSign. If you didn't, you will not get paid. And because we do weekly pay, there's a good chance that all of you could be making a paycheck by next week. Join or download the ARC app. That was a link that was sent to all of you. It's also a QR code in your back office that you can download. Join the Q News Facebook group that was also given to you in your welcome information. And then write this down: every Monday at noon Mountain Time, there is a corporate meeting, and they give us all kinds of great information. So that will be something you'll want to put on your calendar to either be able to watch live or go back and watch the recording. We'll also remind you because you'll be in all the chats. There are a lot of chats. I want you to get back with your sponsor to make sure you are added to all of them. I'm going to make that their responsibility to do, because it's just, there's a lot. There's also a lot of Facebook groups that we can get you plugged into, but first and foremost, join the Q Collective, because that is our high level, very top Brittany Hitches group. And she's running some really cool incentives right now for month end. The new Q Ambassador training, that is something that we do on the Q Empire. We can talk to you about too. We'll talk about it later. But for all of you that are in the US, this applies to you. The financial freedom movement is a very important thing that you need to get plugged into right now. So another homework assignment for you, and I'm sorry, Canadian gals on here, it's not for you yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come. But if you're in the US, send an email even tonight to ffm@qsciences.com and tell them you want to schedule your first appointment, and just do it. The financial coaching here is fantastic. They are a private equity firm. They help us do things that other financial coaches won't do or won't tell you about. It's very, very cool, the things they can do as far as like helping you with your credit score, or helping you lower your debt, pay down your financial aid or financial student loans, to help you with your car stuff, like everything, you name it, they will help you. So please, please, please take advantage of that. All right. After this call, you're going to do your peak post, and you're going to tell the person who invited you here that you have done your peak post. You can send it to them and have them read it first if you're nervous and don't know if you should send it. But your peak post should include a picture of you, your face. I don't know how comfortable you all are about your faces being on Instagram or Facebook, but get comfortable, because people want to see you. They're not going to join your puppy, or they're not going to join your pretty garden, or they're not going to join, they're not going to join your kids. They're going to want to see and know your kids, but they're going to want to see and know and get to know you. So it's a picture of you, your family, whatever, but include your face. Tell them how excited you are. Tell them how nervous you are because of all the excitement you have. Tell them that you can't wait to share with them what's happening. Just be excited about it and let that excitement show and be felt through your words. And then you're going to want to reach out to your list of 20. And that is not something you need to do alone. Again, reach out to your sponsor or your mentor, and they will help you do that. And then we're going to close with this, and I'm going to open it for some questions. So you can choose courage or comfort, but you cannot have both. This is for all of you that like to be in your comfort zone. It is not a place that allows for growth. It's not. I'm sorry. I really wish it was, because man, I would be huge. My life would be amazing if I could sit here, right? If the growth could happen here, but it can't. It happens when you stretch outside of your comfort zone. And for me, thinking about stepping out of it is too big. I can't wrap my mind around that. It freaks me out every time. My anxiety just shoots through the roof. I just think about expanding it like a balloon, like just grow it a little bit more every day. And remember that it can contract, and you can fall back into your bubble, because if you're an introvert like me, you need that. But when you step out again, it's going to be larger and larger and larger. And all of a sudden you are going to be living a life that you cannot believe is yours, but it is. And we get to watch you. We get to watch and experience that with you. I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording. Hang on, if I can figure out.